Imagine waking up and discovering that for the last 5 years, someone has secretly been charging you a fee every time you got distracted. Every notification, every mindless scroll, every tab you opened and forgot about. Each one quietly withdrawing value from your future bank account. That's not a metaphor. In the modern attention economy, your focus is the raw material that powers trillion-dollar companies. They don't sell apps. They sell your attention to advertisers. And every minute you spend in their ecosystem is a minute you're not investing in your skills, your career, or your business. In this video, we're going to flip the script. I'll show you why your ability to focus is now one of the strongest predictors of your net worth, and how to treat your attention like a scarce, high-value asset instead of something cheap to give away. In a world where every app is fighting for your eyeballs, the real competition isn't between companies. It's between their business models and your future self. This video is about that quiet war for your attention and how it directly shapes your income, opportunities, and long-term wealth. We'll unpack what the attention economy actually is, how it hijacks your brain's reward systems, and why some people's focus compounds into massive success while others stay stuck in low-value distraction loops. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to give you a simple, practical framework to audit and reallocate your attention like an investor rebalancing a portfolio. And if you care about building a high-leverage life, consider subscribing and tapping the notification bell so you don't miss future deep dives like this. Now let's start with the uncomfortable truth. You are already an attention investor, whether you realize it or not. The attention economy is simple on the surface. Platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and news sites make money by keeping you looking at a screen. The longer you stay, the more ads they can show, the more data they collect, and the more valuable you become to advertisers. But here's the twist. Your time is limited, your cognitive energy is limited, and your willpower is limited. When you give those away for free, you're effectively subsidizing someone else's profit with your unrealized potential. Think of attention as the gateway to action. Whatever consistently holds your focus will, over time, shape your habits, skills, income, and worldview. If 80% of your attention is captured by entertainment, outrage, and novelty, then only 20% is left for building income-producing assets. In financial terms, most people are overinvested in low-yield attention assets without realizing there's an opportunity cost. To understand why focus is so profitable, for you or for big tech, we need to talk about dopamine. Dopamine is not the pleasure chemical. It's the pay attention to this, it might matter signal. Social media platforms are engineered to trigger tiny dopamine spikes, likes, comments, endless scroll, algorithmic novelty. Each hit feels small, but together they train your brain to prefer quick rewards over deep, sustained effort. That's disastrous for building wealth. High-value work, learning complex skills, starting a business, writing, coding, negotiating, pays off on a delay. It's the opposite of instant gratification. When your brain is tuned for shallow dopamine, deep work feels painful, boring, even threatening. The result? Your earning potential is capped not by intelligence but by your tolerance for working without immediate reward. Whoever controls your dopamine cues controls your focus habits. And whoever controls your focus habits, over time, influences your net worth trajectory. Let's connect attention directly to earnings. Your income is largely a function of the market value of your skills multiplied by your ability to apply those skills to meaningful problems. Both pieces are attention dependent. Learning a high-income skill, like software development, design, copywriting, sales, or data science, requires hundreds of hours of focused practice. Multiplying that skill into income by building products, serving clients, or climbing a career ladder requires more focus for planning, execution, and iteration. Now imagine you leak just 2 hours of quality attention per day to random content. That's 730 hours a year. Enough time to become dangerously good at one valuable skill or launch several serious side projects. Each year of distraction isn't just time lost, it's compound interest you'll never earn. Focus doesn't guarantee wealth, but lack of focus guarantees you'll leave a frightening amount of money and opportunity on the table. Here's a mental model. Think of your day as a portfolio of attention investments. Every block of focus goes into an asset class. First, there are consumption assets, entertainment, news, social feeds. Some are fine in moderation, but most don't appreciate in value. Then you have skill building assets, time spent learning, practicing, and deliberately improving marketable abilities. These compound massively. Next, creation assets. Anything you make that can exist without you. Videos, code, products, articles, systems. Finally, relationship assets. Time invested in people who expand your opportunities and thinking. The average person's portfolio is heavily weighted toward low yield consumption. High earners skew toward skill, creation, and relationships. Take a week and track your attention like money. Where does it actually go, hour by hour? You might discover your attention portfolio is perfectly optimized to keep other people rich. Let's zoom into two fictional people, Alex and Jordan. Both work similar jobs and have similar IQs. Alex spends evenings unwinding with 3 hours of social media, gaming, and random videos. Jordan also relaxes, but caps mindless content at 45 minutes, then spends 2 focused hours learning a high-income skill and 1 hour building a small project. After 1 year, Jordan has 700 plus hours of skill and portfolio development. Alex has 1,000 plus hours of entertainment memories and algorithm-shaped opinions. After 3 years, Jordan's skills command higher rates, plus side income from their projects. Alex feels stuck, unlucky, and increasingly distracted. The difference isn't hustle culture or superhuman discipline. It's deliberate attention allocation. Same number of hours in the day, radically different net worth trajectories. When you look at people you admire, don't just ask, what do they know? Ask, where did they consistently put their attention for years? Attention is not just about hours, it's about depth. Shallow attention is when you're technically working but mentally scattered, switching tabs, checking your phone, half listening to music with lyrics. Deep work is cognitively demanding, distraction-free focus on one important task. Research shows that every time you context switch, you pay a switching cost. It can take minutes to fully re-enter the previous mental state. Multiply that by hundreds of micro distractions and you're bleeding productivity. High-income individuals usually have systems, whether they realize it or not, that protect blocks of deep work, time blocking, do not disturb modes, physical separation from devices, clear daily priorities. 1 hour of true deep work can outperform 4 hours of scattered busyness. If your calendar is full but your net worth isn't moving, the first suspect should be the depth, not the quantity, of your focused time. Here's the uncomfortable part. Distraction is rarely an accident. It's usually engineered. Tech companies employ behavioral scientists, UX designers, and machine learning models whose job is to keep you engaged. Infinite scroll, autoplay, intermittent rewards, streaks, red notification badges, these are not neutral features, they're slot machine mechanics for your brain. In that environment, relying on willpower is like bringing a butter knife to a gunfight. You need structural defenses. That might mean moving addictive apps off your home screen, disabling non-essential notifications, using website blockers during deep work hours, or even creating a separate focus device with only productivity tools. Think of it as raising the price of distraction. If it takes 10 extra seconds and a conscious decision to access a dopamine trap, you'll fall into it less. You're not weak. You're up against billion-dollar attention harvesting machines. Fight at the systems level, not just the self-control level. If attention is money, your environment is your default spending plan. Look around your workspace and home. What are you being cued to do? A phone on the desk, open chat apps, TV in the background. These are open tabs in your mind. High-leverage performers engineer environments where the easiest action is the right one. That might mean a dedicated, clutter-free desk for deep work, noise-canceling headphones, a visible to-do list with one clear priority, and frictionless access to tools you need for creation. Equally important is adding friction to low-value behaviors. Log out of social media on desktop, remove streaming apps from your primary device, or physically put your phone in another room during focus sprints. The goal isn't perfection, it's probability. Design your environment so you are more likely on average to invest your attention in activities that move your income and skills forward. One of the most expensive forms of distraction is mental multitasking, especially with money and stress. If you constantly think about overdue bills, unclear goals, or ambiguous projects, part of your attention is always running background processes. That reduces the quality of your focus and your capacity to take on higher value work. The solution is what I call cognitive offloading. Write down every open loop, debts, tasks, conversations you're avoiding, decisions you're postponing. Get them out of your head and into a trusted system, a notebook, app, or project manager. Then classify. What can be done in 5 minutes? What needs scheduled time? What requires more info? What can be delegated or dropped? This isn't just productivity hygiene. It's a net worth strategy. Clear minds make better financial decisions, notice more opportunities, and can sustain deeper work sessions, the compound interest engine of your earning power. Let's talk about upgrading the quality of what captures your attention. Not all consumption is bad. The question is, does this input increase or decrease my future earning power, clarity, or resilience? Curate an attention diet the way a top athlete curates nutrition. That could mean replacing random feeds with long-form books, courses, or podcasts that deepen your expertise. Following creators who teach skills, not just drama. Subscribing to newsletters that sharpen your thinking instead of inflaming your emotions. A useful rule: for every hour of entertainment, aim for at least 1 hour of education or creation. Over months, this subtle rebalancing shifts your identity from passive consumer to active builder. Your recommendations, algorithm, and even social circle will begin to mirror that change, creating a positive feedback loop where high-value inputs feel normal, not forced. Your future net worth is heavily correlated with the average quality of what you regularly give your attention to. We focused a lot on solo attention, but there's a social layer too. The people you spend time with shape what you notice, what you value, and what you consider normal. If your group treats constant distraction, gossip, and low-effort consumption as standard, it becomes harder to protect your focus. Conversely, if you're around builders, people obsessed with learning, shipping projects, improving their craft, attention naturally orients toward growth. You don't need to abandon old friends, but you do need to intentionally add high-focus people into your world. Online communities, mastermind groups, local meetups, mentors, or colleagues who take their time seriously. Treat these relationships as part of your attention portfolio. They're like index funds for better behavior. Without willpower, you start investing your focus in more productive ways simply because that's the group norm. Over years, that social attention arbitrage can be worth far more than any stock pick. Let's compress this into a few key principles. First, your focus is the primary input to your future net worth. Skills, projects, opportunities, all of them grow from where your attention repeatedly lands. Second, the attention economy is designed to harvest your focus for profit. If you don't have a deliberate plan for your attention, someone else does. Third, depth beats hours. 1 hour of protected deep work on valuable problems can outperform entire days of scattered busyness. Fourth, treat your day like an attention portfolio. Reduce low-yield consumption, increase allocation to skill building, creation, and high-quality relationships. Finally, engineer systems and environments, notifications, device setups, workspaces, social circles that make the high-value choice easier and the low-value choice slightly harder. You don't need to become a monk, you need to become an investor of focus. Your financial future is already being written in where your attention goes today. Now it's time to translate ideas into action. Here's a simple 7-day challenge. For 1 week, track your attention like money. Each evening, quickly log how many hours went to consumption, skill building, creation, and relationships. Then, choose 1. Structural change. Maybe disable 80% of your notifications, remove a social app from your phone, create a 2-hour deep work block, or set up a dedicated workspace. Treat it as an experiment, not a life sentence. At the end of the week, notice, did you feel clearer? Did you make more progress on something that actually matters? If this video helped you rethink your focus, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss the next deep dives. Drop a comment sharing which attention habit you're changing first. Your idea might be the example someone else needs to see. Protect your focus and your net worth will eventually reflect it.